Hey guys, welcome back to the Kool-Aid Podcast. Welcome back to another video. On today's video, guys, we're going to be talking about this whole Dani Olmo Pau Víctor registration situation as we finally reached an end term agreement. We've reached a decision from the CSD, and we're going to be talking about that decision. Will Dani Olmo and Pau Víctor be able to play for the rest of the season? We've been awaiting their decision. We're going to be talking about that on the channel. We're also going to be looking at Joan Laporta's words in regards to La Liga's effort to try to undermine Barcelona and their absolutely ridiculous attempt to destabilize Barcelona. We're going to be looking at the words from Joan Laporta. But guys, before I get to the video, make sure to follow me on all of my social media platforms. Everything's posted down below in the description. Go over there and check me out. That way you guys can stay up to date with everything that I do on the channel. But guys, let's start with the video. All right, guys, let's get straight into the video and let's talk about the decision in which the CSD, the Superior Council of Sports, part of the Spanish government, Barcelona, they've had to go to the Spanish government, the courts of the Spanish government, in order to reach a decision on whether Dani Olmo and Pau Víctor they were able to play, and it has been made official. The CSD, they agree with Barcelona's stance. Dani Olmo and Pau Víctor will be staying registered at least until the end of the season, and that is fantastic news for the club. This means that Barcelona, they will be able to count on the services of both Pau Víctor and Dani Olmo. This was their official statement right here. Everything is in Spanish, and so it's a little bit difficult to understand. But, you know, La Liga, they refuse to accept the CSD's ruling on Dani Olmo. And they are going to appeal for its decision, and they do not acknowledge the registration of both Dani Olmo and Pau Víctor. And what's crazy is that the Spanish government, you know, their sports council said, hey, you know, Dani Olmo and Pau Víctor, they are able to play, but La Liga is adamant on their stance, and they are looking to go against Barcelona, and they are still appealing that decision. And it's absolutely ridiculous because, you know, guys, when we talk about a league trying to undermine a club, you usually see, you know, the league trying to improve and trying to support its own teams in its own leagues, but you see the opposite in La Liga. Javier Tebas, his statement, well, La Liga's statement, it's this. It says, La Liga disagrees with the CSD resolution. La Liga believes the decision regarding Dani Olmo and Pau Víctor's appeal is legally incorrect. Player registration denial. The rejection of their license renewals followed standard regulations as per La Liga and was confirmed by the Spanish Federation, RFEF, and La Liga Monitoring Committee. As per La Liga, the players' contracts ended on December the 31st, 2024, so no cancellation process was required. CSD lacks jurisdiction. La Liga argues that the CSD cannot overturn registration denials as per sports law and past legal rulings. Delayed ruling by CSD. La Liga argues that the CSD took 3 months to decide, while FC Barcelona's precautionary measures were granted within 24 hours, violating due process. Legal and procedural concerns. As per La Liga, the CSD's decision contradicts previous court rulings and affects competition integrity. La Liga will appeal. La Liga will challenge the resolution, refusing to accept the ruling by CSD in FC Barcelona's favor. And reading all that, guys, it's absolutely ridiculous because, you know, there were reports coming out before the game against Atlético Madrid yesterday that La Liga, they've actually voided Barcelona's, you know, new lever, basically, which was the sale of the VIP seats from the Spotify cap now, which totaled, I believe, somewhere around 100 million euros. I don't know if it was the club's auditor or a third-party auditor that removed, you know, that fair play operation, which basically, you know, lowered Barcelona's financial fair play. If Barcelona, they aren't able to have that 100 million euro revenue from the sale of the VIP seats, then our financial, you know, fair play would have been harmed. Barcelona would have lacked the fair play, and thus La Liga, you know, they are holding that stance of saying, hey, Barcelona, they don't have the necessary fair play in order to register both of these players. Joan Laporta, he came out in the media both yesterday. Well, first I want to give you guys the club's official report, and their official statement is the Superior Council of Sports has estimated this Thursday the appeal filed on January the 7th by the footballers Dani Olmo and Pau Víctor and by FC Barcelona annulling the agreement of the follow-up commission of the RFEF La Liga Coordination Agreement. According to the resolution of the CSD, it has been established in an evident and incontroverted way throughout this procedure, and after attending to the allegations of the parties, the incompetence of the Monitoring Commission to decide on the previous visa, as well as the license requested by FC Barcelona. The CSD explains in the statement that the Monitoring Commission lacked the power to deny the prior visa and the federative licenses, which makes its first decision null and void. Continuing on. Well, let me go right here. Licenses in force. In this way, both Dani Olmo and Pau Víctor maintain their license in force and will be able to continue playing matches with the first team. It should be remembered that since last January the 8th, the CSD granted an urgent precautionary measure that has allowed the two footballers of the first team to continue carrying out their professional career with total normality. And so, at the end of the day, guys, what is the final decision? As I've said at the start of the video, the CSD has reached its final decision that will allow Dani Olmo and Pau Víctor to remain registered at least until the end of the season. That's been confirmed. So no risk about Dani Olmo and Pau Víctor being unregistered, let's say, in this upcoming month. It could happen in the summer where there are new problems emerging, but Joan Laporta, he came out to the media yesterday when the first news broke out that La Liga, they voided Barcelona's, €100 million VIP sale, and these were his words. He says, sometimes I feel like this isn't a coincidence. Today we have a crucial match against Atlético, and suddenly this controversy arises. It's yet another attempt to destabilize our team. He continues on. He says, when they can't beat us on the pitch, they try to beat us in the offices. As president of Barça, I cannot allow this. I will always defend the interests of our club, our members, and our fans. He talks about the current course of actions. He says, our legal team is analyzing La Liga's claims, and once they have a full understanding, we will respond in the most forceful manner necessary. We have complied with all the regulations regarding Dani Olmo and Pau Víctor. Our stance remains firm. Joan Laporta talks about our work. He says, we fulfilled every requirement set by La Liga and the RFEF. This matter is being exaggerated, and I want to reassure our players and fans that we are in control of the situation. Barca will fight on and off the pitch. We won't let external distractions affect our goals. Those were his words before Barcelona's match against Atlético, and today he even spoke about it. He spoke once again about the CSD reaching their decision. First, he thanked Hansi Flick for also being there. He says, thank you, coach, for always being involved, for understanding Barca more and more, and for wanting to join an event like this. I want to tell you that you're doing an incredible job, especially for the way you manage the team. He talks about, the La Liga statement. He says, of course, we were worried. The news came out yesterday before the match, and it wasn't a coincidence. For me, it's an attempt to destabilize the team. He talks about the registration of both Dani Olmo and Pau Víctor. He says, fortunately, the players remained strong and understood what was going on. The registrations of Dani Olmo and Pau Víctor were carried out correctly, following all the Federation and La Liga requirements. He says, we know they can't beat us on the field. They try to do it in the offices, but that won't affect us. Let the fans enjoy this moment. Barca is fighting in every competition and displaying high-quality football. We have a great coach who knows how to manage the team in an extraordinary ways. Dreaming is allowed. Dreaming is free. We have a team capable of having a very successful season. We must support our coach and players, and they deserve it. And guys, it's just, looking at and hearing all these reports from, Joan Laporta, looking at his words, looking at the reports and the official statements from the CSD, the reports from La Liga, and the reports from Barcelona. First, I do agree with Joan Laporta. If La Liga, if you guys were looking to basically have a level playing ground, why would you release such controversial and upsetting news when there's a huge game about to be played, between Barcelona and Atlético Madrid? That's clearly an attempt, to destabilize, the dressing room, to bring in noise, to bring in external things, to basically cloud some of the players' minds and try to, unfocus or deviate some of their focus away from the match. It's absolutely ridiculous. And when you look at the overall picture, guys, even if if this somehow in some way, worst case scenario, La Liga appeals and the Spanish government in some way, in some fashion, they agree with La Liga in future instances, why is La Liga so adamant and trying to basically undermine Barcelona and trying to negatively impact their abilities on and off the field? It's absolutely ridiculous. If this was a Real Madrid, if this was other La Liga teams, do you think La Liga and Tebas, who has spoken about this time and time again, in these past couple of weeks / months about Dani Olmo, how they shouldn't be playing, just all these words, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. You as La Liga president, La Liga as a whole, should be trying to help Barcelona, because a great Barcelona team means more coverage, more revenue coming in. You want a great Barcelona team. You want them to be doing well in both in La Liga and in Europe, because that helps you. And it's absolutely ridiculous, these attempts from La Liga and everything. But at the end of the day, Barcelona, they have a favorable decision going in their way. They've had to go to the Spanish government. It's absolutely ridiculous in order to have, a favorable decision in their way. La Liga adamant that are in the incorrect, that they're wrong. But we'll see what happens. But guys, some good news today for the Barcelona fans in regards to Dani Olmo and Pau Víctor. I will be making sure to keep you guys updated. Let me know your guys' thoughts on everything that I have discussed on today's video. And as always, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace out, guys.